Hi everyone, it's Bethany, and in this tutorial I'm going to share how you can make your very own Cricut cards if you wanted to make them yourself and didn't want to buy the card pack. So it's actually really easy, really fun, and just takes a tiny bit of math, but I will give you the final dimensions so that I do the math for you and you're just all set to go. So what you're going to need for this project is some pattern paper or just some regular paper. You can decide what you want to go with in terms of look. When you're picking out your paper, one thing that's important is you should pick out a paper that resembles more of a cardstock in thickness and not regular printer paper, if that makes sense. So scrapbook paper comes in many shapes and sizes and thickness, so you want to just make sure that you get something that's a little bit thicker. So think in terms of how you want your card to be in thickness. So when you get a card from somebody or when you're making a card, they're usually thicker, so just make sure you are monitoring the size and thickness of your paper when you're picking out what to do when card making. So I'm going to be using 4 different patterns, and these are the ones that I chose for this tutorial. So I have a little bit of a floral, and then this is kind of a pink that has a denim look to it. It's really pretty. And then I have a really nice mint piece, and then another kind of a watercolor floral piece that I'm going to use. You're also going to need a weeding tool and a little spatula. That comes in handy when actually creating the card with the Joy, and it comes out of the machine. It can really just help get it off of the mat. And then a bone folder is going to come in handy as well. This is going to help when we're making our cards. Your Cricut Joy card mat, and then a paper trimmer will also come in handy. So to start out, know that I'll link everything in the description box below. If I sneak any other materials or tools into the video, then I'll be sure to link them below as well. So I'm going to be doing an entire different tutorial on this card pack, but I did finally get a different card pack. You guys know I've been really in love with the Sensei sampler. It's just a really pretty card pack, but I found this one. It's beautiful. It's called the Princess Sampler, which is pretty much right up my alley. It's so cute. But I'll show you inside so that you guys can get an idea. And if you are new to Joy cards, it'll kind of give you an idea of where we're going to be going with creating our own. So Joy cards, if you buy the pack, they come with their envelopes, the actual cards, and then the inserts. And this is, again, the Princess Sampler, so I'll show you which colors come in this. It's really pretty. So you have more of a bubblegum pink. You have a nice green. It's a very nice mint color. It's very pretty. Then you have a powder blue, and then you have more of a blush color. So they're very pretty. And then the inserts are actually a holograph material. So those are really neat as well. I love it. Okay, so look out for a tutorial all about this card pack because this is really fun to make cards with, and I'll also share some other cards that I made later in the tutorial just so you can get a little bit more additional inspiration. So what we're going to do today is we are going to create our very own actual cards, and then we're going to create our very own inserts. So it's really easy to do. So I like to do this because while these cards are very affordable in my opinion, and they come and they're all, you know, perfectly ready to go, it makes card making super fast. I think it's really fun to know how to make your own just in case you want to get a little bit more creative. So if you want to add some fun patterns, I think it's just a really fun way to get your card really pretty in a hurry. So we're going to start out by creating our own card and inserts, and it's really easy. So what we're going to do is on the front of the Joy insert cards, they actually give you the dimensions for everything. So for the actual cards, it says the cards are 4.25 inches by 5.5 inches. The inserts are 4 inches by 5.25 inches. And don't worry, I'll place these dimensions on the screen as we are creating. That way you have the final dimensions. So let's go ahead and start with the actual cards first. So I am going to make, let's see, I think I'm going to use the floral for my inserts. So I'm going to set those aside. And then I'm going to use the pink color and then this mint color for the actual cards. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our paper trimmer. And I love the Cricut paper trimmer because you can fold out this arm and it makes just measuring and lining up any type of project really nice. Plus I use it for my iron-on and my vinyl. It's just a really handy tool to have. I think everyone should have one. So let's start with the actual card. So again, we are going to do 4.5 by 5.5 is our final little card, but I'll show you how we're going to create that. Okay, so the height of our card is going to be 5.5. So we're going to go ahead and slip the card right in here, get it to 5.5. Looks good, and we're going to go ahead and slice. Now, what we're going to do is the other dimension is 4.25, but if we did 4.25, we would have only half of our card because we would be slicing it right here. So what we need to do with the 4.25 is we need to double that. So a little bit of math, if you do 4.25 by 2, you come out with 8.5, so 8.5. So we're going to drag this all the way over to 8.5, just like this. And we are going to slice. So now we have our final card. We have a little bit of pattern on the inside, but I'll show you how to remedy that in just a second. But then once we go to fold it, it will be the actual size of the 5.5 by 4.25. So let's do it again so that you guys can kind of get an idea of how to do that one more time, and then we'll fold this in just a second. So let's make another card. We're going to make it out of this really pretty kind of denim textured pink. Okay, so the first measurement, again, is going to be the 5.5 right here. Okay, and then we are going to turn it and do a length of 8.5. And I will place the final measurements on the screen for you now so that you guys can keep those and be ready to make your own. Okay, so now we have 2 of our cards ready to go, and what we'll do now is we can use the bone folder to get them all pressed and folded. So what you're going to do is, isn't this pretty too? I'll show you in just a second, but when you open the card, then you have a really nice piece in here as well. So we're going to just fold it right in half. Okay, and then I do a little crease right in the middle, just like that. Grab my little bone folder, and then I can just press that right out to the sides. Just really press into that. And then you have a really nice professional looking crease. Then you can open up your card so the outside just looks like this. It's really pretty. It's nice and solid, but it has a fun texture to it. And then you open it up, and then you have even more pretty pattern inside. So what we'll do is we'll actually create an insert for the inside so that there is a nice solid to write your little sentiment on, and then it'll look really, really nice. So that measurement is going to be the same measurement as the insert that you put behind your little opening. Okay, so let's go ahead and fold this one as well. We're going to fold it just like this, get it all lined up. Okay, put a little crease right in the center, and then grab the bone folder and make those nice final folds. Okay, so this is our final of this one too, and then inside this has a really pretty butterfly look too, and I think that's really pretty. Okay, so this is when you use double-sided scrapbook paper. So not all scrapbook paper has 2 sides to it, so you might not even need to do the insert as well. So now what we're going to do is we are going to make our little floral inserts, and these are super easy to make. No math is required. We're just going to be doing 4 inches by 5.25. So I will do this first little one here. So we will do 4 inches. Just line that right up. Looks great. 4 inches, slice. And then we are going to turn it and do 5 1/4. So 5.25. And slice. So then we have our little insert just like this. We'll do the same thing for this, just for a little repetition. And I will place the final measurements on the screen for you. So we have 4 inches. And then we have 5 1/4. Okay, so that takes 0 time at all, especially once you have your dimensions down. You can just go really quick. So write those dimensions on a little sticky note and keep them in your little craft space, and this will make it go really quick. So now you have your 2 inserts, and I think I'm going to put this insert with this card. That's going to be really pretty. And then I'm going to put this insert with this one, and it'll look really pretty. So you have 2 inserts, 2 cards, and then I actually already pre-cut my insides. So I just got some white cardstock, just like this, and I cut them at the same measurement that I did my little inserts. And these will go inside the card, and we'll just place them with a little glue stick. You can do it however you'd like. If you want to do it differently, then that's fine too, in terms of how you attach them. But I'm going to just do a little glue stick, and I'll place it inside. And then when I open my card, then I will have a nice blank space to write my sentiment. So now what we're going to do, we're going to hop into Cricut Design Space. I'm going to show you a couple designs that we're going to do. We're going to get these cut out so that we can see how they looked when you're making your own little homemade joy cards. And then I'll also share a couple other cards that I made on my own as well. That way you can get a little bit of additional inspiration.
Okay, so for our cards today, I'm going to be doing two different cards. So I'm going to do this love card. I think it's really, really pretty. And then I'm going to do this baby feet card. It's really cute as well. And the other cards that I'm going to show you that I've already created are the cupcake birthday card and the birthday wishes heart card. So I wanted to point those out because if you end up liking the other ones I created as well, then you know how to find those in Cricut Design Space and you know the titles of each. So what we're going to do is let's do the love card first. So I'm just going to select that, and I am going to make sure that I'm all set. I have my joy selected right here, so I will click make it, and I'm going to say replace. I was working on something else in the background, and then it's just going to place the design right on my card mat. I can click continue and it will find my joy, and that will allow me to then click on my material that I'm going to use. Okay, so the material is going to be the insert card cardstock, so I'll select that. I'll use default pressure, and I'll go ahead and load my card that I just made on my card mat, and then we will get it all cut out.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is just take off my little protective cover from my card mat. I love the card mat so much. I think this was the best little invention ever. So now what I'll do is I'm going to grab my actual card, and what I'm going to do is I'll open it up and I'm going to slip the back side of my card into the sleeve. So there's a little sleeve opening right here, and what this does is once you slip the back side in, it's going to protect the front of your card from the back of your card. That way when you put this through your machine, your joy is only going to cut on the front of the card and the back of the card will stay protected. So I'm just going to get that all lined up perfectly. Okay, now I'll just insert it right into the machine and it's going to cut for us. So it's just going to make sure the mat is completely aligned, and then I can go ahead and click go on my computer, or you can click go on any of the devices that you're using. So then I will make sure I brought my glue stick out real quick. This is going to be a really quick cut too. It's just going to do the four corners and then it will just do the little love outline, so it'll be really cute. So I got a glue stick here, and I will go ahead and glue that little insert in. Again, you can do this however you would like. A glue stick is perfectly fine for me, so if you want to do it a different way and use double-sided tape, then go for it. I'm honestly not a professional card maker or anything, so I'm just kind of making it up as I go and just doing what works best for myself. So this is almost done. It looks really cute. And then I'll show you, you can save the insides too. So I'm going to go ahead and unload this. Once I have it unloaded, oh, it looks perfect. So I'm going to grab my little spatula tool. I find this really helpful for card making. And what I do is I just kind of bend one of the corners, and I'll bend the mat, and then I just kind of place my little spatula under the paper, and then I just wiggle it, and it comes right up. And this is just separating my card from the mat so I can take it off. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so now it self-weeded itself. And so all the pieces stayed on the mat, and then the card is just like that. How cute is this? Oh, that's so sweet. And you're actually going to get a preview of a little bit. Oh, actually, I'm using the other paper, but it would look cute just like that too, because look at the pattern paper inside, although we have to write in it, so that wouldn't quite work. So what you can do though is you can save these pieces, and I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to gently grab these little letters because they're already ready to do something else with. So we'll just place those to the side, and then you could make an entirely other card. I mean, in fact, you could place it on a card just like this if you wanted to create another card out of this pretty mint. You could place these right on there. You could use the the foam I'll bring them into the tutorial, that way you guys can see. I'll try to find some, but it's little foam adhesive dots so that you could put them behind there and make them, you know, raise up off of the page. Okay, so then we have these little pieces we can just take off and discard. We don't need those. And then, so use your little extra pieces. That'll be perfect for another card. Don't waste those. Or you can throw them away if you want to. You don't have to keep them. But if you want a little extra inspiration, then you have some little free designs. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this pattern paper. So pretty. So, and on the back, how cute is this? It has little rain boots. I think it's so cute. So I'm going to open up my card. I'm going to place my little paper right inside. And in fact, I really should have been more aware of the back of my paper and made this directional so that when I opened my card, I'll show you in a minute. Since my card is going to open this way, then my rain boots would have gone the right direction. So just make sure your patterned paper is directional. If it is, then make sure you are cutting it the right way. But then that is the final look. How cute is that? It's a pretty little card with the little floral accents on the inside, made all by yourself. I love it. So now what I can do is I can come in here. I can grab my little glue stick here, open this up. I had to go to my little kiddos craft center because we have been doing a lot of homeschooling. I'm actually not a homeschooler, but have gotten quite used to it. And now that it's summer, we're actually just continuing our routine of homeschooling because it just keeps us busy and happy and gives us lots to do. So anyway, I had to run and grab some glue from their little play center, and it's Mommy's turn to play with the glue stick. I feel like I've been the facilitator of glue sticks for 4 months now, and now it's my turn to play. Okay. So then I'm just placing this little insert card. Again, this was cut at the same dimensions that this insert was cut at. And I place that right here so that way when I go to open my card, I have a nice blank place to write my little sentiment. And I think that looks really pretty. Oh my gosh, I'm in love with that. Okay, I'm going to load the next design in Design Space, and then we will cut it on this card. Okay, so now just grabbing my card mat again, it's completely cleaned off from my last card. You'll want to make sure it's completely clean. That way the lingering pieces don't affect your next cut. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and place my card, the back side right inside here. Make sure it's all lined up perfectly, which it is, and lay that right down. Okay. And then I can go ahead and just place it in. This one is the card with the little baby feet in it. It'll look really cute. Okay, so then I can just unload this from my card mat. And again, I'll just bend, place a little bit of my spatula underneath, and just start wiggling and removing the card from the actual mat. Whoops, got a little strong there for a second. Just being really careful. Okay. And then it comes right off, it self-weaves, and then you have the cute little baby feet on there, and you can keep those as well to do another project. So now that is all done. I got that a little bit bent a little bit, but it's actually just fine. Okay, so now what I can do is I can grab my little insert and get it the right direction, open up my card, and place my card insert right inside the little corners. Okay, that looks perfect. Whoops. Okay, and so you could, if you wanted to, write on this. It's light in nature, so if you use like a black pen, the writing would show up. Or you could place a little piece right inside. So it's up to you on some of your designs, because some of your pattern inside you can write on, and then other times you might want to place a little bit inside. So it's up to you. I might write on that just so that the little butterflies show through. That's super sweet. But then on the outside, there are the little feet. How cute are those? And I love that it's a double pattern. There's that nice floral inside, and then it has a nice pattern on the outside as well. I think that is really, really sweet. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I pre-cut another sheet. So let me find it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I made another card, and I'll show you how you can use the little scrap pieces of the love that came off of the other card. So I'm just going to grab this and fold it really nice. And I'll show you those little foam adhesive dots, and then I'll show you some other cards I made just for some additional inspiration. Okay, so these are the little foam adhesive dots. They're really, really nice to use. I think I got mine from Hobby Lobby, and they come in a variety of little assorted shapes. So it's really easy to use. So what you can do is you can just grab your little pieces here and you could place them on your card. But in order for them to really stand out, you could do a foam adhesive dot behind them and get them just really standing out on the page. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab, I probably will use the medium size, so I'll just turn these over and I'll place the little dots right on the back, and I grabbed some tweezers just in case I needed a little bit of help arranging anything. So just like that, and then you have a little bit of a sticky that you have to peel off, a little paper, to get the other side to be a double stick. And once you have that off, let's contain these so I can throw them all away. You can just place them right on your card, just like this. And then it is raised up off the surface. I'll show you in just a second. So then I can grab maybe a big one for my heart, place one on the back, and I'll get all of these just placed right on my card. Okay, so that's the final look of this card, and so you can see they're raised off the surface, and I'll zoom in just a second so you can get the detail of all of these little cards. They're so cute. So on this one, when you open it up, it's got a really dark pink color, so I am going to put a little insert on the inside of this. So really, you got 3 cards out of 2, and actually you could get 4 cards out of 2 because you could use the little inserts from the little baby feet and do your own. But for the sake of time, I will not show that one today, but you get the idea. So then you open the card, you have this really nice blank insert. I just think this looks really nice and polished, and quite honestly, this looks very expensive in my opinion, because sometimes I fall in love with cards at the store, and then I'll flip it over and see that it's $6 or $7, and I'm sorry, but I cannot pay $6 or $7 for a card. I just cannot. So the card packs are super affordable if you want to go that route. In another route, you can buy your own paper and just make your own and do the little pre-cut measurements, and you're in for so much cheaper. Plus, they look just as beautiful. So let me zoom in and I'll show you some additional cards I made, and then we'll be all done. Okay, so here are the final little cards. I love how they look. That is so pretty. I love the inside being so floral, and then this one as well, that looks so cute, and I love the pastel look of this. It just looks so babyish and so cute. I love it. Okay, so we have those two, and then we have our little bonus card, and then those little raised edges. It looks really neat and three-dimensional. I love that. This actually might be my favorite one that came off of the little craft today. It's so cute. Okay, some additional ones that I did were I made my own cards, and then I used the holographic inserts. So I made a couple birthday cards. This one I made out of some scrapbook paper that looked like fabric. So this is for someone's birthday who is a quilter, so I thought this would be really pretty. It kind of looks like a quilt, and then I did the holographic behind, because look how that makes that confetti sparkle. I think that's so fun. So that one, and then I did this one, and I had like a nice pale pink floral pattern, and then I did the holographic on the inside. I think that turned out really fun too. So then when this came off the card mat, I just could not throw these little cupcake pieces away. I think they were just so pretty. And then this little birthday wishes I could not throw away. So I made a bonus card, and I made this card. And so what I did was I placed the little cupcake right on the card, just like that. And then I used those foam adhesive dots to raise up the little edges on the birthday wishes, and I just kind of curved them along the top and the bottom. So always make sure that you're looking at the little pieces that are going to come off of your card mat, because you can always use those for an additional card from pieces that would have just been tossed in the trash anyway. So always make sure you're kind of monitoring your scraps and seeing what you can do with those as well. All right, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this. This is really, really fun, very easy to do. Again, make sure you write down those final dimensions, and you will be all set on creating all of your own cards. So make sure you give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this. Let me know what you're crafting. Let me know if you've done any card making recently. Also, be sure you're subscribed. We're going to do some more card making with the pre-made cards as well. But I honestly think that I will probably do a lot more card making with making my own, because just look how pretty they turned out. These are beautiful, don't get me wrong, but look how you can just really make something super pretty when you use patterns and use something other than solids. I just think they're so, so pretty. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you're subscribed, give me a thumbs up, and leave me a comment and tell me what you're crafting. All right, everyone, have a good day.